Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Hare Krishna, welcome. We are reading Bhagavad-gita as it is on our channel, Bhagavad-gita, here it is. And this edition, a translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and my name is Labangalattika. We are in the 4th chapter, Transcendental Knowledge, and we have been stressing here how knowledge isn't exactly a list of facts. It's Hare Krishna. Isn't exactly a list of facts. It's more. It's a deeper thing than that, and it influences the attitude of the person and the actions one performs. But even when the actions are the same, the result will not be the same when it comes from a different understanding, different level. We are reading today. What did I say? Text 36. And I start with the Sanskrit. Apiched asipapebhya sarvebhya papakritamaha sarvangyana plaveneva vriddhinang santarishyasi. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Purport. Proper understanding of one's constitutional position in relationship to Krishna is so nice that it can at once lift one from the struggle for existence, which goes on in the ocean of nations. This material world is sometimes regarded as an ocean of nations and sometimes a blazing forest. In the ocean, however expert a swimmer one may be, the struggle for existence is very severe. If someone comes forward and lifts the struggling swimmer from the ocean, he is the greatest savior. Perfect knowledge received from the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the path of liberation. The boat of Krishna consciousness is very simple, but at the same time the most sublime. So we're speaking about a level of reality that we may not always think about. We go about our activities and we kind of think that things are under control. Depending on what I do, then there will be a certain result. And then sometimes, bam, the rug is pulled out from under us and we're realizing what we thought was stable ground is just it's just nothing. Because this world, as fixed and stable as it may seem, is actually Krishna's energy, and our position in this world is dependent on the more subtle laws of nature. The fact that we as spiritual living entities can even identify with this body in this world is a little surprising, it's a little amazing. But we do manage because we really want to. And Krishna allows us for it. This is what is Maya, illusion is all about. It's not just that we wake up in the morning and we forget where we put our keys. But Krishna allows this covering, because otherwise we would be at every step reminded of the fact that we have a spiritual identity and Krishna is there. And if we don't want that, Krishna allows us to forget it. But when we want to come back to it, then we can see that this world is interesting. When we meet people and we talk to them, we can see how everybody kind of lives in their own world, according to their ideas and their background and their values. They see things differently, like we're seeing now. Of course, we record this earlier and we publish them later, so maybe once this is published, this is long ago, but quite recently we're hearing in America how they have been separating families who have come across the border in order to charge the grown-ups, the mothers and fathers, with some kind of criminal charge, and then they put the children away in camps. And it's quite shocking because these children, they haven't done anything, and somehow or another we think we have a structure that is kind of fair and kind of humane and caring, and then suddenly someone creates a principle, and while on paper that principle seemed to make sense to some, in reality, it's a terrible thing. And these children are standing there and suddenly they have nobody. And in this world, I'm really not saying that, this is just normal. This is not normal. We always take care of children. Even there are some stories in our Srimad Bhagavatam about 4 great sages who decided to stay in the form of little children, because little children, they don't have to struggle so much with their senses and with lust and those things, because the senses hasn't come to that stage. So they are traveling all over the universe, and they come to the gates of Vaikuntha, the spiritual world. And the doorkeepers there are saying, "Hey, you little children, go home to your mummy." And they become very angry and they curse them. And they're saying, "How are you qualified? You are not qualified to be in the spiritual world because you don't know anything. You don't know that children are allowed to go anywhere. So you can't really stop children. Sometimes you restrict them for their own safety, but you can't make laws like that. You can't make laws that this is my country and this is your country, and these children, that we can just lock them up somewhere." Such ignorance. But the fact is, this material world, even when we think we have a stable system, we have good laws, we can trust it, and then suddenly it just breaks down. Another thing, I'm all in the news today, I'm really sorry. Hopefully this will also be solved, but a group of children with their grown-ups were exploring a cave in Thailand, and then somehow the water started to rise and they had to take shelter somewhere far, far inside this cave, and they've been sitting there for 10 days on a little shelf where it is dry, and they are alive and they are all right, but they are kilometers and kilometers deep into this cave that is now flooded with water. And what a situation. And this material world is like that. Somehow or another we went here, and it seemed like a logical choice at the time to avoid some difficulties, to achieve some enjoyment. We kind of went here and there, and now we're on this little on this little shelf in the middle of the darkness, and we don't know how to get out. We don't know how to get back where we belong, and we don't see anything. We are just in this illusion. And therefore, all these levels, we can think, "Oh, I'm an upstanding citizen, and I'm only doing good things, and therefore I have the right to condemn everyone who's not born on my little plot of land to suffer in the wars and in the what you call hunger, all these problems that they have and we don't have, because there is a line here on the ground, and that means I'm allowed to just keep them out." Even to the point where I lock their children up in camps. This isn't exactly the text of the Bhagavad-gita, but this is the world we are living in. So you can work on that level. You can also work on the level of the Vedas or of religion, where you understand some basic laws. Some activities bring about bad results. We use the words papa and punya. Papa means sinful, and it means basically these activities create a disturbance in the universe, and therefore I will have to, at one point, accept the results of that activity in an unfavorable manner. And punya means the activities that are beneficial. There's different kind of yagyas and different kind of pious activities, like digging wells, planting trees, these kind of things that are universally considered as pious. And if I do them, I will get some merit, and the action will be good for everyone, and also I will reap that sort of result. And that's one level to work on, which takes into account the subtle laws of nature that we can't really see, but that are actually more stringent even than the laws that we can see. Because, of course, we cannot work against, is it called gravity? It makes things fall down. We can't really change that law, but we can build airplanes. We can build bridges. We can work around it. Law of karma, we don't even see it, and there's no way to work around it, really. And then the next level is the level of transcendental knowledge. And here it says, even if you have all these reactions, if you come from such a background, when you're situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, because this material world is considered like an ocean. So it's nice, you go to the beach, you go for a little bit of a swim, and you come back to the to the ground again, where you can walk and live and sleep and grow your food, which you can't really do in the ocean. And we like to think we're really good at this swimming business. What is the problem? But if we fall into the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, where we can't even see the beaches, and we can swim for days and days and weeks and weeks. It doesn't matter how good swimmers we are. This is not, sustainable project. This cannot be done. So therefore, we're hoping somebody will find us and bring a boat there and pull us up. And that is what Krishna is speaking about here. We're in the ocean of material existence, and we can't really code our way out of it, fight our way out of it, climb our way out of it, because it is not visible. There is no end, really, as such. But Krishna is leaving us these boats. It is said that the human form of life is considered to be a boat. We have all these metaphors. We mix them like anything. So here maybe the boat is one thing. In the other one, the boat is another thing. But with the conscious effort of the spiritual master who represents Krishna, that knowledge is given to us. And all we can do is accept it. Take this knowledge, apply it, and see that it actually lifts us out of this ocean of material existence. So that is a quite advanced project. It's like nothing else we've ever done, but at the same time it's quite simple. It's kind of doable. And it says here, even to have that vision of this papa and punya and this karma binding us in this world is quite an advanced level of viewing the world. So if we don't even see that, then maybe this doesn't appear to be such a great benefit. But when we realize that how everything in this world is like entangled karmas after karmas on top of each other, and there's no way out of it, and then we see it's actually possible to be lifted out of that onto the boat of transcendental knowledge. I think I will take the next verse also. Yat heidangsi samidhognir bhasmasat kurute juna jnanagni sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute tata. This is text 37 in the 4th chapter. And I think this also is one of the famous verses. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions of material activities. See, we have all our metaphors. Purport. Perfect knowledge of self and super-self and of their relationship is compared herein to fire. This fire not only burns up all reactions to impious activities, but also reactions to pious activities, turning them to ashes. There are many stages of reactions. Reaction in the making, reaction fructifying, reaction already achieved, and reaction a priori. But knowledge of the constitutional position of the living entity burns everything to ashes. When one is in complete knowledge, all reactions, both a priori and a posteriori, are consumed. In the Vedas, Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad, it is stated, Ubhe uhaivesha ete taratyamrita sadvasadhuni. One overcomes both pious and impious reactions of work. So here again we're speaking about these reactions. The good things we do, they give us some benefits, and the bad things we do, they give us some suffering, they give us some problems. But ultimately, all these reactions, what they do is keeping us here in this world, because we have to, when they are due, we have to stay here to accept them. And we may think that good reactions are better than bad reactions, but actually they both bind us in this world. And this world is, we were reading another text about knowledge, where it's interesting. The first definition of knowledge is humility, and another one, there's a long list, if I could remember where it is. I think maybe in the 8th chapter. Yeah, I'm not finding it. But it starts with humility, and one of the points there is that this dukkha doshana darshana, the fact that we are viewing this world of repeated birth and death as we have that vision that this causes suffering, that is one level of knowledge, because before we have that, we don't have the motivation and we don't have the clear-sightedness to actually look for a solution to the problem if we don't realize it's a problem. There was a book I was reading sometime in my youth, and might have been called Watership Down. I'm not sure. It's a colony of rabbits, and they live in a controlled environment where they have everything they need. The only problem is that the owners of this controlled environment will periodically pick one of them out and kill it. And then the rest, some of them are thinking, well, it's worth it. Well, even when we live in nature, somebody will die. And some of them are thinking, no, it's not worth it. We cannot just sit here and wait that somebody comes and slaughters us. And this material world is a little bit like that. We may think it is worth it, but actually the thing is, living here means we are going to die. Taking birth means death will also come. And this is not natural for the living entity. We are eternal. We belong on a platform where life is eternal, just as we are. And that is a spiritual world, and we are actually invited and welcome to that place. But we cannot just whimsically decide, now I want to be spiritual. We have to understand it a little bit. That knowledge, it has to be given to us. So Krishna is here giving Arjuna the knowledge, and in that line from Krishna, we, even up to today, that line of disciplic succession is accessible, and we can receive the same knowledge, and we can put that knowledge into action. We can apply that knowledge, and we can also be picked up from this ocean of ignorance of this material world, and we can also see how that blazing fire of knowledge removes all the difficulties, not depending on our qualification, not depending on our activities and our background, because simply Krishna is very pleased to allow us to come closer to him, and this is the way that he has made it accessible to us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.